Hey guys, it's Hannah, and today I wanted to show you a couple ways to use the things in your Inky Box if you've ordered it. If you don't have the Inky Box but you have these materials and you want to learn how to use it, then this video is for you. So right now I have the Spectrum Noir Sparkle Brush Pen. This color is Fig. And then I have two Marvy Uchidas, if I'm pronouncing that right. These are brush pens as well. And then I was going to compare these to the Tombow Soft Tip Brush Pen, Fudenosuke. And then I have these Beech Tree paper notebooks from this month's Inky Box. You can use whatever paper you want, but I figured I would try to use everything in it. So to get started, I will quickly show you, if you are new to the Spectrum Noir brush pens, there's a couple things you have to do before you can use this. The first thing you're going to do is untwist this, and if you can see this yellow band around here, you have to take that out because basically you are going to have to pierce it. Basically it just opens it. So then you'll twist it back up, make sure it's fully engaged, I guess you could say. Alright, that is good. Then you can, whoops, once I get it on, you can take the top off. There we go. Okay, so now that the top is off, you're going to have to squeeze this barrel. It's going to release the ink into this part here where it's like the little reserve, and then it'll eventually go to the bristles. Sometimes you can just bend the bristles like that. They're a little bit hard to start off. I'm just going to use this piece of scrap paper, so you'll just squeeze it until you see the ink coming through. You don't really have to squeeze it that much, it comes out pretty fast. And then I'm just going to get my whole brush saturated in ink before I test it out for you. This color looks gorgeous, by the way. So one thing about the Spectrum Noir brushes is this is similar to a water brush. I don't know if any of you have used a water brush, but the bristles are very similar, or like a paintbrush. So it's a very flexible nib. It's not like a marker at all. It's an actual paintbrush. So it's not the best for beginners if you're just starting out, if you're using it for lettering, just because it can be harder to control. But it's definitely a fun tool to experiment with, and the colors are really beautiful. I don't know if you can see with this lighting, but there's a lot of shimmer and sparkle to this. So I will show you quickly what it looks like in a notebook. So what I have on my brush right now is very pigmented, so it's pretty dark, but this is a very, very beautiful purple color. So my advice for using these is to just take your time and go slow. It can be hard to get the thin upstrokes with these just because when you're using actual paintbrushes, it can be harder to control, and so you just have to go slower with this. So like I said, that's why it's not necessarily the best thing for beginners, but it's a beautiful, beautiful color. I have a couple different colors in these. I do not have this color yet, so I'm very excited to have this. And so that's how you use that. Super easy. Like I said, this color is Fig. So now I want to move on and try out the two other brush pens I have. I have one color in soft violet and one color in grass green, and then I just have the black Fudenosuke brush pen. So I'm going to use this paper. Just a warning, I don't know if this paper is the best for lettering. I'm going to use it because I'm not super concerned about it, but that is something you can be mindful about if you're using brush pens. One thing I didn't notice about this at first is that they do have the colors on the top of the pens, which is nice. You can kind of see what they're going to look like. So there's the green, there's the violet. So Let's just test this out. This violet is really pretty. It's almost like a pinkish purple. So these markers, if I'm comparing them to a Tombow Fudenosuke, these ones almost seem to have a bigger tip to me, and so they're a bit more flexible, and you can actually get a thicker downstroke with these ones. I would definitely suggest, if you're a beginner, the one marker that I suggest using is the Tombows Fudenosuke pens, either the hard tip or the soft tip, just because it's really nice to be able to learn the muscle memory and control with those markers. This marker is still going to be okay for beginners. It might be a little bit harder just because it's more flexible, but it's definitely a great way to start out in your lettering journey if this is the markers that you have. So I'll do the green quickly. Like I said, with these two, these I saw are alcohol-based inks, so they'll probably bleed through your paper quite a bit more. When it's alcohol-based, I find that it bleeds through my paper a lot more, and you can see that in here. It's definitely bled. With the water-based markers, such as at least the Tombow markers, the Tombow dual brush pens, those are ones that I use quite a bit. Those are water-based. They don't bleed that much, so they're really good for your bullet journal, and you can blend them really nicely. Another one is Crayolas. Crayolas are water-based, so you can use those. Those are a great way to start lettering if you're into that, and they're water-based. So, and then I'll show you the Tombow Fudenosuke pen just in comparison to the pen I just did. I'm trying to think. Now, a lot of this is in a different language, so not entirely sure, but I almost think this pen, you know, I'm not going to say for sure, but this pen doesn't bleed, and so I'm almost positive it's not alcohol-based. I just don't know what base it is. But this one I use in my bullet journal a lot for headers and for writing the days of the week. Because it doesn't bleed and it's nice and easy to control. You can get smaller lettering with it. So if we're comparing, this nib is quite a bit smaller than this nib. And if you don't know what I mean by nib, it's just the tip of the pen. So like this is the only writing part in the Tombow pen, and then this whole thing is for the Marvy. So that's one difference just right off the bat. That's why I said in the beginning, these ones, the Tombows, are better for beginners to learn to control your pen better. So we'll test this out. And this is the soft tip. And so it's a little bit more flexible. You can also buy these in the hard tip, which obviously are not as flexible. But they look exactly the same coming out of the package. The nibs are the same. Now with this too, because it has a smaller nib, if I'm comparing it, the downstrokes and everything are going to be thinner. So you can't get as thick of a downstroke with your Tombow pen because the nib is smaller, and you can also get some crisper upstrokes with it as well. So that's just a quick comparison. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I just wanted to showcase some of the things that you can use that are in your Inky Box, what you can use it for, and this is a great way for me to be able to test out new products that I've never used before. Like I said, I've never used these Marvy pens before, so that was really fun to be able to just compare to what's in my collection. I have used the Spectrum Noir before, but I just love the sparkle in it, and I love all the colors that they have. and then the Tombow is an old favorite. So it's a great way to kind of combine old and new things and to be able to compare what's in your collection. Hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, click the thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.